Talk about Stephen A. LeBron.
I was not going to cover Stephen A. But you know what? We'll end with that because I tend not to like to talk about that stuff, but because I was debating with that, so Isaiah put it on the table,
I'll put it
so
on the table.
we will discuss that for. But it is a good topic. I just sometimes it's like gossip stuff, but it is kind of important. So since you brought it up,
Start it off.
I mean, for people that may not know, I think LeBron was caught going up to Stephen A. I think mid game. I don't even think it was after the game. I think like mid game during a timeout.
was that right?
Uh huh.
Oh,
No, I think it was after.
Was it
It
after?
was
I
after.
think it was after.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was
Okay.
after.
It was after he went up to Stephen A. And it was kind of just like, you got to keep my son out of this stuff, bro. Just basically just telling him, just to, kind of just checking him, kind of like, yo, you need to relax. You're doing too much stuff. And a lot of controversy, a lot of opinions have been behind that. Who was right? Who was wrong? This and that. And in my opinion, when you enter the NBA, I don't care if you're Scottie Pippen's son, Michael Jordan's son, Shaq's son, Kobe's son. I don't care whose son you are. You, as Aaron said while we were talking about it at home, you are subject to criticism. And Stephen A's job is to give you that criticism. I understand as a father, you might look at this stuff and be like, you always got something to say about my son, bro. This mad at the players in this league. Relax. Bronny, whether he likes it or not, is probably it's a huge name in the NBA
course,
because
of course,
that's LeBron's kid.
Yeah.
So of course, a lot of people, especially Stephen A, will try to hold him to a much higher standard, and also because his dad is LeBron James, everybody want to see
That's fair.
Bronny play really good, and since he currently in the NBA in the G League he's playing great. In the NBA he hasn't really played that well. Stephen A is gonna get on him about that, but that's just his job.
Yeah. Aaron.
I mean, I understand where LeBron. Well, I don't understand where LeBron's coming from because I'm not a father. But I mean, in the case of you're talking about the guy's son, I understand like why he did that. But then again, like Isaiah said, Stephen A is just really doing his job. Like that's what he does for a living. But I don't really know. I don't know.
I mean, look, it's a tough one. Again, Isaiah said it correctly. I am a father, obviously. My son's on the show with me here. But guess what? That's almost like, listen, I'm going to use this show as an example. We're putting ourselves out there by doing this show, right? And we're subjecting ourselves to criticism. People could come on and call us three bums. Or they may say like, the father's cool, but the other two kids are bums, right? That can happen. Obviously that would piss me off. That wait a second, were you attacking my kids? But at the same time, I also understand that if we're going to put ourselves out here and do a show, and it's going to be on social media, or however on YouTube, wherever we put these shows, that go with the territory. You know what I mean? That goes with the territory that we decided to do that. I decided to put them on here. I have so many different platforms in which I do this in the mental conditioning gym, my own podcast and things, but I thought it was cool to be able to put them out there. They enjoy doing it, so all right, what the hell, let's do it. And we got some pretty good feedback for it. But we're going to get some negative feedback. People are going to be saying, these kids, you never know. People be wilding out. But because, I made the decision, and with their obviously approval, to put them on, I can't really get mad. Again, will it piss me off personally? Like, yo, what? But at the same time, you can't, in my opinion, this is what they subjected to do. This is their job, to come here and do that. Other people have their jobs of, particularly a reporter like Stephen A., who I'm not a big fan of, so it's not like I'm, taking his side, but he does have a job to do, and his job is to be a critic. That's basically what these guys do. And he was criticizing LeBron James' son. And again, if he's a professional athlete, man, and that's what goes with the territory of being a pro athlete. Quite frankly, any athlete who's in the public eye, college kids get criticized as well. And we're in a terrible state of living where high school kids sometimes even get criticized. So they kind of go with the territory. So to step to him like that is a bit, I don't know. I thought a bit strange. And certainly to step to him in a public forum like that, if he really had a problem with it, maybe, and Stephen A. did say this.
He did say that.
He said he got my number, which I believe that. We don't live in a day and age where it's hard to get anybody's number. I'm sure he can get Stephen A.'s number like that. He could have stepped to him on the phone like, "Let me tell you something. I'm gonna break your jaw if you do that again. If you do that again." But to kind of do that in a public forum, like what he trying to do, you know what I mean? Because clearly he didn't try. He did. He embarrassed Stephen A. Smith. That was comical to me. He had him like standing there like Kermit the Frog and like, "Yo, sit down." And Stephen A. had to he had no other choice but to sit down. So I guess he was trying to in my opinion, looked like he was trying to embarrass him, which he certainly succeeded. It was an embarrassing situation for Stephen A. Smith to be, sunned in front of America or the world. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Everybody was watching that, and with social media, it's all over the place. So success, I guess, if that's what LeBron James was trying to do. But yes, I do think it's a little bit out of pocket for him. Again, and I am a dad too, so I'm not, I understand, somebody attacking your sons, you're going to be upset about it. But at the same time, like I said, his son is in a different category. He is a professional basketball player. He's not 12. He is over 18 at this point, so he's a man. So it's kind of one of those things. I just think it was a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit inappropriate. But that's why I don't like to have these conversations necessarily too much, because I'm not obviously LeBron James to be able to say. But I am a dad, and like I said, I using this example, somebody can again go in the comments and attack my guys here. I'm not going to like it, but again, I also understand that we put ourselves, all three of us, in a position to be attacked.